Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, and in this video we're going to be checking out 4 different unlocked smartphones that you can buy right now for under $300. So let's get started. Now very recently on the channel I put out another video about phones under $100. So if your budget is a lot lower than 300 bucks, then you might want to check that video out. But all of these devices are under $300, but they are kind of in the upper range. So the first phone here is the Samsung Galaxy A50. So right now you can buy this on Amazon GSM unlocked for just $269. The phone features a 6.4-inch display. It has Corning Gorilla Glass 3. The display itself is Super AMOLED, so it looks really good. It's nice and crisp and clear, and it is a 1080p display. So excellent display quality here, a 403 ppi and a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio. So a very thin but tall form factor here with the phone. Now the front-facing camera is 25 megapixels. It is in a water drop notch, and the device features 64 gigabytes of internal storage with SD card expansion. So if 64 gigs is not enough for you, then you can always put a micro SD card in the phone. Now there is no wireless charging with the Samsung Galaxy A50, but it does feature a fingerprint sensor in the display. So we'll give that a try right now. So a very good fingerprint sensor built in here into the device. This is the only phone that I'm going to be showing you in this video that has an in-screen fingerprint sensor. So if that is a feature that you're looking for, then this might be the device for you. Now on the back side of the device, we have a triple camera setup. So we have a 25 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 5 megapixel depth sensing camera. So a lot of really awesome cameras on the phone. In addition to that, we're getting live focus portrait mode on both the front and rear cameras on the device. Now the Samsung Galaxy A50 features 4 gigabytes of RAM and the Samsung Exynos 9610 processor. And I did run an Antutu benchmark test, so I'll pull those up right now. And you can see I got a total score of 166,734. So a very impressive Antutu benchmark score with the phone. Definitely for both this score and the scores of all the other devices that I'll show you in a little bit, compare those scores to your current smartphone right now to see if these devices would be a performance upgrade. But certainly with 4 gigs of RAM, I'm very impressed to see that, so definitely a nice thing to have. Now video recording with the phone maxes out at 1080p for both the front and rear cameras. We're getting a beefy 4000 milliamp hour internal battery with the phone, and it is compatible with 15-watt fast charging. The software on here is Android 9 Pie, and it does have Samsung skin laid over. And we also get a bunch of different Samsung apps pre-installed. So if you're a big fan of Samsung's ecosystem, then you're definitely going to like the Samsung Galaxy A50. Now as far as the hardware goes, I talked about the front already quite a bit, but we have a really awesome looking AMOLED display. Seriously though, this display is amazing. Great viewing angles as well. So I'm a big fan of it. One of the perks of AMOLED is that you get really rich, great looking colors with the device. Now on the left side here, we have the slot for the SD card and SIM card. Then on the right, we have the power button and volume button. Then on the top, we have the noise canceling microphone. And then on the bottom, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, the USB-C port for charging and data transfer, the microphone, and the speaker. So nice to see that we do get USB-C and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Definitely great features there. And then on the back side of the phone, it has this really cool looking color. Now there are other colors available too, so make sure to check all of those out over on Amazon. But you can see we have the camera module, we have the Samsung logo, and then of course the reflective back on the phone. So it certainly is a fingerprint magnet, so be prepared for that. Next up is the Samsung Galaxy S9. So believe it or not, but you can actually get this phone right now for just $295 from Amazon Renewed. So Amazon Renewed phones are typically refurbished phones or phones that have been returned. So my experience with this Renewed phone has been really great. It feels like a brand new device. It's in excellent condition. Maybe a few signs of some scratches around the charging port, but that's about it. So you really are getting a lot of value here for the money. And this phone is barely even that old, and it's gone down that much in price. So definitely make sure to take advantage of those price reductions to get a really good phone for the money. Now, this version of the Samsung Galaxy S9 is GSM factory unlocked. I believe they have other versions of the phone available on Amazon Renewed as well, so definitely make sure to check that out as well. But with the device, we're getting a 5.8-inch display. It's a Super AMOLED display with a 1440p resolution. So an extremely good resolution with the phone. You're going to be getting a massive 570 ppi with the device, and we're getting an 18.5:9 aspect ratio. So the bezels on the top and bottom are a little bit thicker, especially compared to the Galaxy A50, but I personally don't mind that much. I'm just grateful that we have this really awesome, bright, clear, vibrant, and crisp display with the phone. So I think that looks fantastic. Now up top here, we have an 8 megapixel front-facing camera. Then on the back, we have a single 12 megapixel camera, and you do get portrait mode with both the rear and front cameras, which is nice to see. With the phone, we're getting 64 gigabytes of internal storage with SD card expansion. Now, Amazon Renewed does offer the Samsung Galaxy S9 in higher storage configurations, but you are gonna have to pay quite a bit of extra money. You get wireless charging with this phone, which is excellent, and then you also get a fingerprint sensor on the back. So we'll try that out right now. So a very quick and responsive fingerprint sensor. You also get an iris scanner with this phone and facial recognition. Now with the device, you get 4 gigabytes of RAM and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor. So a really good processor and a decent amount of RAM with the phone too. And I'll show you the Antutu benchmark score right now. And I got a total score of 340,960. So a really awesome score as well. And I know that this score is going to be significantly better than any of the other devices that I show you here in this video. So if you do want performance, and if you don't mind going for a phone that is renewed and a little bit older, then the Samsung Galaxy S9 can certainly satisfy your needs. Now, video recording with the rear camera on the device maxes out at 4K at 60 frames per second, which is great. We're getting a 3000 milliamp hour internal battery with the phone. And my Samsung Galaxy S9 has been updated to Android 9 Pie. Now, apparently, the phone might get Android 10 in the future, but I don't know when that's going to happen, so expect to at least get Android 9 Pie with the phone, and then of course you get Samsung's skin laid over it. So a pretty awesome device, definitely a lot of value here for what you're paying. Now on the left side of the phone, we have the Bixby button and we have the volume button. Then on the right side of the phone, we have the power button. Then up top, we have the noise canceling microphone and SIM card and SD card slot. Now the phone does have a nice metal band running around the sides of it, so definitely a really premium feel here. The phone also has a curved display, so that's an interesting feature. Then taking a look at the bottom of the phone, we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, we have the USB-C cable for charging and data transfer, we have the microphone, and we have the speaker. And then on the back side of the phone, we have the camera module, we have the flash, we have the fingerprint sensor, and Samsung branding. So we do have glass on the back of the phone as well, so a really nice fit and finish, and this is the lilac purple color. So I'm very happy overall with the Samsung Galaxy S9, certainly a phone that will provide you with a lot of value even in 2020. Next up is the LG Stylo 5. Now I know that this phone has been very popular, and in fact it's the only phone here that I'm showing you that works with Sprint and Verizon. Now, of course, there are versions of the Galaxy A50 and Galaxy S9 that work with Sprint and Verizon, but in the price ranges that I showed you, neither of those two phones are going to work with those carriers. Actually, let me take that back. You might be able to find a Galaxy S9 that works with Verizon, that is renewed, but you're going to have to do that research on your own. So out of the box, the LG Stylo 5 will work with all 4 major US carriers. The phone is available for $299, so a little bit on the pricey side for the specifications that you get, but I figured I would show it to you here in this video because I know that some people want maximum carrier compatibility in the US from a factory unlocked phone. Now, the LG Stylo 5 features a very large 6.2-inch display at 1080p with a 392 ppi and an 18:9 aspect ratio. So if you don't want a notch on your device and you want a brand new phone in 2020, then this phone will definitely satisfy your needs for that. We do have bezels that are a little bit on the thicker side on the top and bottom, but it's not a huge deal to me. Now the phone features a 5 megapixel front-facing camera with portrait mode. Then on the back, we have a single 13 megapixel camera, but there is no portrait mode with that camera. So kind of strange that you just get portrait mode with the front camera, but it is what it is. But overall, I mean, the display looks really awesome on this phone. The colors on the wallpaper that I put on here are actually kind of washed out, so the actual display is a bit more vibrant than you might think it is by looking at this video. Just wanted to point that out there. But with the phone, we're getting 32 gigabytes of internal storage with SD card expansion up to 2 terabytes. There is no wireless charging with the LG Stylo 5, but we do get a fingerprint sensor on the back. So we'll try that out right now. So a very quick and responsive fingerprint sensor. The device features 3 gigabytes of RAM and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 450 processor. So not the best processor, especially for a phone in this price range. And 3 gigs of RAM is okay, not very impressive either. But I'll pull up the Antutu benchmark scores right now, and you can see you get a score of 82711. So not extremely impressive either for a phone in this price range. I would have definitely appreciated if the score was over 100,000. But again, I mostly wanted to include this phone in this video since it is supported by all 4 major US carriers. And then of course you do get the built-in stylus on the bottom. And if you want to see a lot more details about that, certainly check out my full LG Stylo 5 review. Now the phone features a 3500 mAh internal battery, so not bad there. And it runs Android 9 Pie with LG Skin. The overall build quality of the LG Stylo 5 is pretty good too. It features this nice metal band running around the sides, but we do get plastic though in the back. On the right side of the phone, we have just the power button. Then on the left side, we have the slot for the micro SD card and SIM card. We have the volume buttons. And then we have on the top, the noise canceling microphone. Then on the bottom of the phone, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack. We have the microphone. We have the USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. We have the speaker and we have the stylus. So certainly this feature makes the phone stand out quite a bit. If I can get it out of the slot. Here we go. So you can draw quick memos here. There's a bunch of different apps specially designed for the stylus. Or if you just want to use the stylus to navigate around the phone, you're welcome to do that as well. So a pretty awesome feature to have there, and definitely a very unique feature. And the only other phone that I could think of that features a built-in stylus is Samsung's Galaxy Note line. And then finally, the last phone that I'm going to be showing you in this video is a really massive device. This is the Uchitel Canine. So you can buy this right now for $239 on Amazon. It's a factory unlocked GSM dual SIM device. It features a massive 7.12-inch display at 1080p. It is an LCD display, but you do get a 350 ppi, which is pretty good for a display that's this large, and you get a 19:9 aspect ratio. But you can see how massive this phone is. In fact, putting it up against the Samsung Galaxy S9, you can see how much larger the device truly is. So if you do want a massive phone that's excellent for watching video content especially, I would say go for the Uchitel Canine. It's definitely a nice mix between a phone and a tablet, and at this size it almost feels like a mini tablet, seriously. So the phone features an 8 megapixel front-facing camera housed in this water drop notch. Then on the back we have a 16 megapixel main camera and a 2 megapixel secondary camera that does give you portrait mode. Now the portrait mode is not too great with this phone, so keep that in mind. Certainly nowhere as good as the portrait mode that you get with the Galaxy S9 and Galaxy A50, but it is there. There's no wireless charging with this phone, but we do get a fingerprint sensor on the back. So I'll give that a try right now. So a pretty responsive fingerprint sensor. And the phone features 4 gigabytes of RAM and the MediaTek Helio P35. So not the best processor ever out there, but nice to see that they did pair it up with 4 gigs of RAM. Now I did install the Nova launcher on the phone just to make it run a bit more smoothly. So I recommend doing that if you decide to get this. But let me show you the Antutu benchmark score. Now with the device, I got an overall score of 104,193, so better than the LG Stylo 5, but definitely a bit behind the Galaxy A50 and certainly behind the Galaxy S9. But if you do want a phone that's excellent for content consumption, then you definitely might want to consider the Uchitel Canine. But there's even more benefits with this phone. This phone features a massive 6,000, you heard that right, 6,000 milliamp hour internal battery. And the good thing too is that it supports 25 watt fast charging, so you can recharge that battery pretty quickly. Now the device does feature Android 9 Pie, and it's a pretty stock version of the software, so not a big deal there. So overall, you're getting a pretty good optimized experience here with the phone. Now the build quality isn't anything too special. I think the biggest selling point with this device certainly has to be the display, which does look really nice, by the way. You know, it's a good looking display. It's of course very large, but it certainly gets the job done and is pretty fantastic. But on the left side here, we have the slot for the micro SD card and SIM card. On the right side of the phone, we have the power button and volume button. Then on the top, we have nothing. And then on the bottom, we have the USB-C port for charging and data transfer. We have the microphone, and then we have the speaker. And then on the back of the phone, we have the camera module, we have the flash with the fingerprint sensor, and then the Uchitel word mark. And you can see this phone is definitely a fingerprint magnet, but I do like this piano black color on the back. It looks pretty sharp overall. So I hope you enjoyed this video about these 4 devices that are selling for under $300, factory unlocked for GSM carriers, and then with the Stylo 5 support for all 4 major US carriers. But I hope you enjoyed this video and found it to be helpful and informative. These phones are definitely pretty diverse with a little bit of everything. You know, we have a large display option with the Uchitel Canine, kind of a smaller display, but higher quality with the Galaxy S9. And then the Galaxy A50 features an in-screen fingerprint sensor. So all these phones have a variety of different quirks and features, but I'm really interested to know which one you would go with. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to buy any of these phones, check out the link in the video description. It'll take you over to where you can get them on Amazon. But this is Kevin here. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.